Pay attention. Something sacred has just been activated specifically for your home at this moment. It is no coincidence that your path stopped right here, because what is about to happen before the next dawn is unprecedented in your personal history. Archangel Michael holds a decree of peace today, one that has been waiting for the exact moment when your spirit was ready to receive it. I invite you to join me in these moments of serenity, because the clarity you seek is about to manifest in a way you never imagined. Stay with me until the end of this reflection, for every word is a step toward the tranquility you have so longed for. There is a special protection beginning to envelop your surroundings right now. This change is not something external, but a direct response to the faith you have maintained during the darkest days. Sometimes we feel that our requests fall on deaf ears, but the celestial realm reminds us that every whisper has been heard and kept in a place of honor. Brother, heaven has been watching your journey with infinite tenderness. A transformation has already begun above you, a movement of light that intensifies as you allow yourself to believe in the unseen. This message is not a passing option. It is the answer to that inner search that brought you here. Often, the greatest blessings arrive in silence, just before the sunlight dispels the darkness. Right? I receive heavenly protection and a promise to seal this intention in your heart. A space of grace, long reserved, has opened up. Your name, that essence that defines you, is vibrating at a frequency of liberation. Important decisions seem to be hanging in the air, awaiting the touch of divine wisdom to settle into your destiny. It is crucial to understand that when the heavens align in our favor, the pieces that seem lost begin to fall into place on their own. Archangel Michael has witnessed your silent battles, those you fought when no one else was watching and when exhaustion seemed to win. He saw your tears in solitude and heard your deepest prayers. You were chosen for this moment of renewal, not because you are perfect, but because of your unwavering will to persevere. The resilience of your soul is the key that today unlocks doors that once seemed sealed shut. Something is shifting on the spiritual plane to bring you the justice and peace you deserve. A profound truth rooted in your history and lineage is coming to light to heal what was wounded. So, met times. The noise of the world prevents us from noticing that there is a celestial council actively working for our well-being. What once seemed stagnant is now accelerating its progress toward you. It's important to reflect that no earthly force can divert what heaven has destined for your spiritual growth. Although others may have tried to take your place or obscure your purpose, the divine gaze is infallible, and its action is unwavering. Tonight marks a turning point. It's not an ordinary day. It's the moment when the lock of time opens, allowing renewed clarity to enter every room of your life. It is said that a miracle has been specially guarded for you, waiting for your spirit to be strong enough to receive its magnitude. Now you are ready. You may feel a special warmth in your chest or a slight thrill upon hearing this. It is your inner self recognizing an ancient promise that is about to be fulfilled. That feeling of certainty is the compass that shows you that you are on the right path. Despite the obstacles and the thoughts that tried to convince you nothing would change, today hope rises stronger than ever. Don't let distractions pull you away from this message of faith. Something invisible yet incredibly powerful is by your side, waiting for you to be ready to act in your life. The winds of change bring with them the support of those who came before you and also believed. In this process of transformation, remember that your home is a sanctuary where peace begins to bear fruit. Don't seek immediate material results, but observe how your perception of the world changes and how serenity becomes your greatest shield. True wealth is the tranquility of knowing you are protected by a force that never rests, I invite you to take a deep breath today and allow this celestial energy to cleanse any trace of anxiety from your mind. If you feel an unusual sensation in your chest or a heartbeat that seems inexplicable, don't mistake it for restlessness. What you are experiencing is a sacred alignment. It is your being recognizing that the heavens are releasing a new chapter of peace into your soul. You are not late for your purpose. You are right where the divine light needs you. But it is vital that you maintain your full attention on this guidance until the very last second so as not to interrupt this process of connecting dots right. I align myself with divine peace in the comments to confirm your openness to this change. The celestial realm has waited for this exact moment to rescue you from the fog of confusion. Perhaps you have hesitated, wondering if the time for redemption had already passed for you or if the wounds of yesterday were too deep. But the sun has not yet risen, and what is happening in this twilight is the restoration of your story. Archangel Michael reminds us that being silently protected is not the same as being forgotten. Sometimes heaven works hardest when we least expect it. Today, a crossroads presents itself before you. On one path, the repetition of the same. On the other, a complete transformation toward fulfillment. By remaining here in this deep reflection, you demonstrate to the celestial authority that you are ready for the unlocking. A divine signal has been issued, and you are now in a zone of spiritual activation. It's crucial to understand that your sensitivity isn't a flaw, but a tool of discernment bestowed upon you for this new era. You always knew you were different. You sensed your surroundings before others noticed, and you gave love even when there seemed to be no return. That wasn't weakness. It was spiritual intelligence, preparing you for what's to come. I'm pausing here to invite you to be part of this community. If you feel these words resonate with your purpose, subscribe to our channel, share this message with someone who needs light, and turn on notifications. Nothing we share here is random. It's a frequency coded for your well-being. And for those who wish to voluntarily support our mission to continue creating this content, the Super Thanks option is available below the video. Thank you for your generosity and for being part of this journey. Archangel Michael affirms that this same gentleness of heart is what makes you powerful today. What you have experienced has not diminished your worth. It has trained you to be unbreakable. Before the first ray of sunlight touches the horizon, this strengthened version of you will encounter the grace that was always meant to reside within. Do not allow the distractions of the world to steal this moment of heightened energy, for when a heavenly window opens, no human force can close it. You were never created for the ordinary. That's why routine and a lack of purpose caused you constant restlessness. It was your spirit rejecting limitation. Now, that higher timeline is becoming visible. Your words have the power to activate the energy around you, which is why it's so important to speak from certainty and not from lack. Something irreversible has begun. As you breathe in these words, your energy field recalibrates to align with a divine plan that was hidden for protection. Archangel Michael doesn't just observe, he guards your life's prophecy with a presence of light, ensuring that no shadow interferes with the serenity that has been sent to you. This change won't come like a thunderous crash, but as a quiet revelation. You'll feel the weight you've carried on your shoulders dissipate like feathers in the wind. You'll begin to hear your own thoughts with crystal clarity, without the external noise that used to distort them. True transformation occurs when we stop fighting the process and begin to trust in the divine orchestration that pulls the strings in our favor. Your name is resonating right now in places you haven't even heard of. People on the right frequency are being called into your life to create the conversations and alignments you need before dawn. A record of your efforts is being reviewed. What you thought would take years divine grace may resolve in weeks. What you believed was lost will return to you with a renewed and stronger essence. Sometimes, the greatest battle is convincing our own minds that we deserve for things to go well. Today, the benefit you receive is not just the promise of change, but the tool of mental clarity. By clearing the noise from your environment, you allow your intuition to become your most faithful guide. Don't worry about how things will happen. Focus on maintaining the inner peace you've just found, for it is in this state of calm that miracles find their way to you. Those who thought your journey had stopped were actually witnessing your preparation in silence. While the world celebrated your apparent stillness, the celestial realm was writing a purposeful ending for you. That silence wasn't a void, but the necessary space for divine surprise to manifest suddenly and powerfully. Right? I trust in the timing of light, in the comments to activate this truth in your life. The energy surrounding you is about to accelerate to such an extent that many will wonder how your life transformed with such harmony and permanence. However, few will know that this rebirth began right here in this moment of connection with the sacred word. Archangel Michael teaches us that when heaven wishes to bless you, it first sends a word of guidance. And this message is precisely the instruction that unlocks your path. If your soul recognizes these words, you are already receiving the clarity you needed. There were voices that tried to dim your essence with feelings of guilt, trying to convince you that you had to earn your worth. But today, it is revealed to us that this change is not a reward for absolute perfection, but an honor to your obedience and your resilience. Standing firm when everything invited you to surrender is the greatest act of faith a human being can perform. Everything you've felt you've lost in the past time, relationships, energy has not been wasted. In the celestial record, every sacrifice is a seed that has been planted. The heavens are ready to return peace to you with a significant increase. Before the next sun rises, an old version of you, burdened with fears and doubts, is being left behind to make way for a renewed identity. You're not simply entering a new phase. You're embracing a new way of walking through the world, a way that doesn't crave attention, but rather attracts serenity because it walks in perfect alignment. A door of light is about to open, but it requires you to step through with confidence. Your decision to remain attentive until the end of this message is the key that unlocks it. Opening dot. It is essential to understand that your presence here is a divine summons on a sacred threshold, while the noise of the world distracts others. Archangel Michael tells us that time is now on your side. This is not a fearful countdown, but a progression toward a spiritual power that needs no explanation, only to be experienced. The winds you feel today carry echoes of a higher realm to which you have always belonged. Now, the veil between the everyday and the sacred thins. The codes of your purpose are whispered to you in a language only your essence understands. You are not here by mere chance. You are drawn to this frequency because your spirit is attuned to a profound shift that has been reserved exclusively for you. Right? I receive my spiritual victory to seal this commitment to your destiny. You'll soon notice that others' perceptions of you begin to change. Places that once drained you will no longer disturb your inner peace. You will see certain influences withdraw from your life without logical explanation. Don't worry, they are simply being removed because they don't align with the elevation you are pursuing. Archangel Michael is repositioning your life, erasing the delays caused by connections that didn't belong to your field of light. You will no longer carry burdens that were meant to sabotage your progress. Those who truly need to walk beside you are being released to meet you. Before dawn, expect a strange stillness, a calm that doesn't come from having everything figured out, but from the certainty that everything is flowing in your favor. This tranquility isn't a lack of movement. It's the very presence of divine alignment in your home. The added value of this message is the understanding that your past does not limit your celestial future. We often punish ourselves for the time we believe we have lost, but on the spiritual plane, time is cyclical and restorable. What is coming for you does not depend on what you had or what you lost, but on the quality of your intention today. By releasing the guilt for not having started sooner, you free up an enormous amount of energy that you can now use to build the life you always dreamed of under the protection of the light. Your true essence has always vibrated at the frequency of constant progress. Perhaps at some point along the way, you forgot how powerful your spirit is when it attunes itself to celestial wisdom. But the heavens never stop listening to you. Every word spoken in solitude, every silent tear, and every moment of waiting was recorded in the memory of the light. Today, before the first glimmer of dawn touches the earth, that record is receiving a response of peace. Right, my turn for peace comes now. In the comments to seal your alignment with harmony. If you feel these words are opening a door in your heart, allow yourself to share that clarity. Someone you care about might be needing that same shift in perspective right now. I invite you not only to listen, but to become part of this community of light by subscribing to our channel. You're not here by chance. This is a sacred encounter designed for your soul. Something transcendent awaits you. So keep your attention focused. Even though your physical eyes cannot yet see the movement, your inner self already senses the vibration of a unique opportunity. Archangel Michael approaches your reality from the dimensions of peace. He does not walk on earthly ground, but rather moves through the realms of divine will. In his presence, he holds a shining key that only responds to your hearts that refuse to surrender. That key is the unique signature of your soul, and it can only activate that which is rightfully yours by spiritual birth, serenity, purpose, and fulfillment. As you receive this message, a spiritual shield of protection is being built around your next chapter. No distraction will affect you. No unjustified delay will interfere with your progress, and no betrayal will be able to seep into your new reality. The hands that once tried to block your path will now lack the power to oppose your rise. This protection is an angelic legacy, nourished by the silent prayers of those who loved you before you were born. Right. I accept the protection of heaven to strengthen the shield in your environment. You are not seeing this by chance. It is a perfect alignment of time, space, and truth. The celestial realm has emitted a frequency of calm that only awakened spirits can perceive. You heard it, and obeyed the impulse to stay. Now, that obedience will be rewarded with a peace that will leave even those who doubted you speechless. Profound change almost always begins in absolute silence. Just before dawn, creation quiets to receive the news. At this very moment, someone might be thinking of you without understanding why your name keeps popping into their head. That's spiritual magnetism, manifesting. It's your energy aligning with what the heavens have chosen to deliver to you before dawn. When those encounters happen, you'll know it wasn't chance, but the answer to a sincere search. You have carried invisible burdens for far too long. You smiled when your heart was heavy and stood firm for others, when you barely had the strength to breathe. Those moments of sacrifice were recorded in heaven as acts of spiritual merit. Now, that energy is transformed into restoration. What was hidden from you is revealed. The conversations that happened behind your back lose their power, and delayed opportunities are redirected toward you like a wave. Finding its shore, you have waited long enough in the shadows. Heaven is ready to honor your faith in a tangible way, not just with outward well-being, but with a clarity of mind and inner justice you never thought possible. This change doesn't come with a bang, but with an unshakable certainty that needs no explanation. It is simply felt in your bones, that whisper that awakens you in the stillness of the night, telling you that something good is coming, is real. It is direct communication with the source of all peace. After this message, you will notice clear signs. Harmony will return to your conversations. Those who didn't bring light will distance themselves, and the provision for your needs will flow with astonishing ease. This isn't luck. It's a spiritual promise being fulfilled in real time in your life. Stay until the end, for the secret of your next step is revealed in what follows. The doors of opportunity are vibrating, and the seal of limitation is beginning to break. You may not hear it with your ears, but your spirit has already caught the sound of freedom. The greatest benefit you can receive today is liberation from the past. We often feel burdened by our mistakes, but heavenly justice focuses on your current capacity for transformation. By recognizing that you are worthy of protection and blessing, you break the chains of insecurity. Don't focus on what was taken from you, but on the empty space that remains, because that space is precisely where heaven is now planting a new seed of hope and absolute clarity. That subtle trembling you feel in your chest, that wave of stillness that washes over your thoughts, is not confusion. It is clarity arriving, and it arrives at the darkest moment. Just before the first ray of sunlight touches the horizon, at this instant, Archangel Michael appears before you with an awe-inspiring presence. In one hand he holds protection, and in the other, a sacred scroll. This scroll contains your new life instructions. These aren't the rules society imposed on you, nor the defense mechanisms you adopted just to survive disappointments. These are divine instructions, pure and undiluted, designed for the original version of youth, one who existed before heartbreak, before setbacks, and before the world tried to dim your light. The universe is clearing a path for your true self to finally manifest. Right, I activate my divine purpose in Tikomen and feel your energy rise. There is an inner fire awakening that refuses to be silenced any longer. The voices that once made you feel small are losing their power. The doubts that used to dominate your mind are diminishing, while the vision of your future, the one that once seemed unattainable, is now drawing closer. It is time to understand that this is not a theory or a mere metaphor. It is a spiritual reality that is being activated right now. Your tears have never gone unnoticed by heaven. Each one has been counted and transformed into the seed of your great breakthrough. What the world interpreted as a collapse in your life, the celestial realm saw as a necessary phase of rebuilding. Those moments when you felt alone are the exact coordinates heaven uses today to send you redemption. It is a profound, sacred, and irreversible change. Don't be afraid if you notice certain situations or people beginning to leave your life. Many of these departures are, in reality, blessings shrouded in mystery. There are doors that must close because they were never designed to bear the weight of the glory and peace that are coming your way. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. You are not being rejected, you are being redirected toward a path where miracles will surpass your wildest dreams. The pressure you felt recently isn't chaos. It's the process of giving birth to something new through your spirit. It's a sacred endeavor. And when dawn breaks, a cycle unlike any other will begin. What once seemed difficult will begin to flow with astonishing ease. What you used to yearn for will now come to you. Where you once felt you had to fight for respect or stability, you will now be a natural magnet for harmony effortlessly. Your aura is changing, and your presence is expanding as you tap into your spiritual heritage. Archangel Michael reveals that those who fail to value you will soon see such undeniable evidence of your grace in your life that all negative opinions will be silenced. Your inner radiance will be your best response, your peace your strongest defense, and your serenity will speak louder than any external noise. Remain calm and steadfast. This is not a time for anxiety, but rather for taking a deep breath and trusting. Tonight is a divine exception, a rupture in time that grants you early access to the peace that would normally take years to attain. It's not an urgency born of fear, but a countdown to power. You've arrived just in time because this message was designed to find you at your most open. If your heart is beating strongly, it's because your soul has recognized its higher self. The sky does not sleep. While the world silently turns, a powerful force roars in the unseen, your name engraved at its core. Your reality is being rewritten in ways the logical mind cannot yet comprehend. A sacred vibration is awakening parts of you that had been silenced by pain. You thought time had passed you by, but what you experienced was merely the necessary pause before the great miracle. What you endured was your preparation. What you lost is being restored with a force that will shock you. This isn't just about gaining something new, but about reclaiming what was always yours by divine right. You were marked for victory before you were wounded. You were chosen before you were broken. Your greatness was ordained long before you knew pain. And now that pain becomes proof that you survived the most grueling training. The true benefit of what you are experiencing now is the shift in your frequency of attraction. Be cleansing your spirit of the need to prove anything to others. You become invulnerable to criticism. Today you learn that spiritual success is not about doing more, but about being more aware of the protection you already have. Your greatest gain today is the freedom from carrying the expectations of a world that doesn't know your true celestial origin. Rest in that certainty. A time will come very soon when everything will fall perfectly into place. Those pieces of your life that never seemed to make sense. Those events that cause you confusion will suddenly form a picture of absolute harmony. Those who chose to stray from your path will be replaced by people who walk in your same light and run toward you with sincerity. The delays that worried you so much will reveal themselves as divine interventions that protected you from what was not meant for you. Right? Everything is flowing in my favor in the comments to claim this. Clarity. Archangel Michael tells us, before the sun reason, wait for a sign so specific that it leaves no room for doubt. It could be an unexpected word, a message that arrives at the perfect moment, or hearing your name in a context of blessing. Something will confirm that this change is not a product of your imagination, but the result of your alignment with peace. You no longer walk in circles of uncertainty. Now you walk with a firm purpose. The spiritual fog is dissipating, and with it goes all the heaviness you've been carrying. You will awaken with a lighter mind, and your decisions will be precise, as if guided by an unseen hand. You will no longer tolerate anything that drains your energy. You will protect your peace as the most precious treasure you possess. There is a special anointing upon your choices today. You won't have to beg for direction, for your next steps will become clear. The doors meant for your growth will not be blocked, and those paths you shouldn't take will naturally seem foreign to you. Archangel Michael assures you that you are not confused, but rather refined to have a higher discernment. That polishing process ends tonight. You have reached the turning point, the chapter you have been waiting for. The heavenly realm has its full attention on you. Angels are moving in order to fulfill the decree of peace that has been issued in your favor. From now on, your blessings will not come accompanied by confusion or extreme sacrifice. They will come with a clarity that will fill you instead of exhausting you. You will not be asked to shrink yourself to fit in. You will be asked to rise up with the strength and grace that have always been within you. It's time to let go of that old version of yourself who doubted every step or was afraid of being too different. You're not here to blend in, but to break old patterns and bring light where others only see darkness. If the pressure has increased recently, it's because change needed space. The old energy had to be shaken out so the promise could flow freely. you will see how everything unfolds steadily. Each hour before dawn holds a confirmation, a small miracle preceding the next, until you find yourself surrounded by that for which you silently prayed. Stay until the end, for you are but a breath away from a sacred revelation that will change everything. The atmosphere around you is no longer silent. It feels electric, vibrant. Something sacred is touching your very being, and your soul recognizes it. This is the moment when your destiny intertwines with divine timing. Something sealed long ago is about to land in your reality as an unshakable presence of peace. That tension you felt wasn't anxiety. It was the activation of your spirit preparing for this encounter. The celestial records bearing your name now shine with renewed light. Archangel Michael declares that the chains of limitation have been officially broken. What once seemed impossible will begin to move with astonishing speed. Spiritual resistance has been disarmed, and the path is clear. You are becoming all that heaven designed you to be, not by force, but by surrendering to the truth. Prepare yourself to recognize the signs. Someone will mention your name in the right place. Divine guidance will place you in front of the right people at the precise moment. It won't be luck or chance. It will be angelic engineering at work, demonstrating that your requests have already been answered in the realm of light. The benefit of this message for you is spiritual precision. We often waste the energy trying to force open doors that aren't meant for us. Today, the promise is that you no longer have to push. The light itself will guide you to where you are valued and needed. By releasing the need to control the process, you allow celestial intelligence to perfectly orchestrate encounters and opportunities. Your only task is to keep your heart at peace and your eyes open to the signs that dawn brings. Now, the shift allows peace to finally descend. Those blessings that seem to float aimlessly, waiting for this precise alignment and this vibration of calm, find their way to you today. Your life is wide open to receive what was previously blocked. You won't have to chase harmony. It will come to you. Remain steadfast and open, for this is only the beginning of what the heavens plan to reveal to you. This is not an isolated blessing. It is the beginning of a divine sequence of favor that, once initiated, will not cease. Heaven has not forgotten you. It was preparing you. What you interpreted as rejection was, in reality, a necessary redirection. And that delay that troubled you so much was not a denial, but a sacred time of maturation, so that today you may be strong enough to sustain the fullness that is coming. Right? I accept divine favor in my life to activate this sequence of peace. You have passed through the final darkness of the night and chosen to remain in tune while the rest of the world rests. This decision will be rewarded with a clarity that will surpass all expectations. You will notice that you speak and walk with a different kind of confidence. Observe how your presence begins to have an influence you didn't feel before. People will sense something special about you, not because of your words, but because of the anointed and recalibrated energy you emanate. The version of you entering this new season shines with the light of realization. That clarity has finally appeared and will illuminate every corner of your home. In this light, doubts dissipate and opposition falls silent. Stay until the end, because the final scroll of guidance is about to be revealed for your life. Although the physical sky may appear dark for a few moments longer, spiritually the sun has already risen over your destiny. The change has begun and the blocked timeline has been cleared. Even though your natural eyes may not yet see the full extent of the change, the force needed to bring this harmony into your reality is already in motion. It is certain, it is unstoppable, and it is yours. What happens next will be anything but ordinary. A name you haven't heard in a long time will return to your life with a message that will positively change your course. An opportunity you thought was lost will arise, and a favorable shift will occur in a situation that previously felt stagnant. Don't underestimate this time. The most powerful movements of peace often arrive in moments of quiet urgency. Write, "I am coming out of the shadows into the light," in the comments to confirm your position in the center of heavenly favor. Heaven doesn't demand perfection from you. It only asks for your permission to act. By staying connected to this reflection, you've already taken that step. You've opened the door and stepped into the light. Observe how quickly your reality transforms from this moment forward. The next version of you will be unlike the one who began this journey. You will carry a peace that needs no explanation and effortlessly attract well-being. The divine code within your soul is awakening, and everything around you is beginning to align with this new frequency. You may experience sudden waves of joy, amazing mental clarity, or profound calm. Don't try to analyze it logically. It's spiritual data reorganizing your being, so you can handle this new level of power and serenity. There is special protection surrounding your rest tonight. The celestial presence is working on those areas of your life that have been hurt or neglected, covering what you have hidden from others. Before dawn, those old wounds will transform into wisdom, and your fears into unwavering faith. Archangel Michael tells us that this is a sudden moment, an instant where everything that was stagnant begins to flow, where the weight of the past acquires purpose, and where you understand that heaven never said no, only not yet. That moment has arrived, and you will feel it in how others treat you, in unexpected news, and in the lightness of your own body. The alignment is already here. Your only task is to receive it with gratitude. The greatest benefit you receive at this stage is the recovery of your vital energy. By ceasing to fight the delays and accepting them as divine protection, your nervous system finally finds the rest it needed to heal. Today, your greatest gain is the ability to discern that you are not wasting time, but rather being repositioned on a much higher launching pad. Trust that what is coming is proportional to the patience you have cultivated. My child, the sun is about to appear on the horizon. As the world prepares to return to its usual routines, you must recognize that you are no longer the same. You have crossed a spiritual boundary of no return. A sacred activation has been completed within you. The version of you that lived under the shadow of fear, uncertainty, or limitation is behind you. This is not the end of our encounter. It is the birth of your everyday miracle. From this moment forward, you will witness divine favor manifesting in every area of your life, in your relationships, your physical well-being, your purpose, and your peace of mind. Not because you forced circumstances, but because the celestial realm has decreed your release. You remained present. You aligned yourself with the light, and now the process is sealed. Right. I am a testimony of peace in the comments to honor this new beginning. Something irreversible has taken root in your spirit. Although your physical eyes may not yet perceive the full fruit, deep within your energy, the change is already a reality. This is the sacred consequence of your willingness. It is the serene power that arises when you choose to trust what heaven has been silently preparing for you. Archangel Michael assures us that your agreement with this moment has inaugurated a life of constant harmony. What you are experiencing now is not confusion, but a profound transition. The spiritual landscape surrounding your life has been renewed. The old paths of difficulty no longer exist for you because you are no longer meant to walk them. This new chapter requires you to walk with a different posture, one that doesn't beg for signs, but breathes with the certainty that the promise is already a reality. Everything that tried to delay your progress didn't have the power to stop it. It only served to strengthen you. Now that the transformation has occurred, your timeline has been redirected to align with the divine plan designed before your arrival in the world. That plan includes solutions that arrive without warning and a fluidity that knows no resistance. The first visible sign of this change will be your own peace. It won't come with great upheavals, but as a gentle calm that will envelop your days. You will no longer react to chaos as you once did. Situations that once robbed you of your tranquility will now bounce off your spirit, like dust falling from a celestial armor bestowed upon you. This protection is not temporary. It is a divine permanence that neither fear nor doubt can undo. You no longer walk alone. Now you will recognize the signature of light in every detail of your daily life. You have become a portal of well-being for your lineage. Your decision to align yourself with peace has a positive effect on your family history, present and future. Before the sun fully illuminates the earth, the last layer of heaviness will peel away from you. The residue of every cycle of pain or confusion will be lifted, leaving you in a state of complete clarity. Your new season will not begin timidly, but as an explosion of light bursting through every window of your home. The silence that now surrounds you is sacred. Do not try to fill it with unnecessary noise. Let that silence envelop you like a shield and redefine how you see yourself. You are no longer someone fighting for a place at the table. You are the one for whom the table is being set with honor. Expect to feel a newfound confidence and a sharp wisdom in your instincts. You are not imagining it. You are remembering who you were always meant to be. The waiting and the struggle are over. Now you reap the rewards of patience. The first sunrise you see today will be different, not because the sky has changed, but because you have transformed. This new version of you doesn't seek external validation or worry about time. You know how to distinguish between divine rhythm and the distractions of the world. That you carry within you a sense of serenity that will attract opportunities and people that once seemed unattainable. Do not doubt this step. You are not just entering a new season. You are the new season. Those who are meant to know this radiant version of you will find you effortlessly. Before dawn, your name is carried by messengers of peace to places you have yet to visit. The fundamental benefit of this activation is sovereignty over your peace, by understanding that heaven hasn't forgotten you, but rather was positioning you. You cease to be a victim of circumstances and become the architect of your spiritual reality. Your greatest gain today is the freedom to not have to explain your process to anyone. The evidence of your transformation will be so clear that your very presence will be your best message. Enjoy this newfound lightness, for you have earned it through your faith. That old version of yourself, limited by the shadows of the past, has been officially removed. In its place, a new inner power has emerged. Archangel Michael reveals that the spiritual door of your previous process has closed definitively behind you. You have passed through a portal of grace that few are called the cross, a space that was reserved and guarded until your spirit was strong enough to hold the light that resides there. Now that you have crossed that threshold, your essence has captured the attention of your entire celestial team. You have been marked with a sign of distinction. What once drained your soul now has no power over you. You find yourself enveloped in absolute clarity, not because the external environment has changed, but because your inner vision has been restored. The fog has lifted, and you have not only healed, you have been renewed from your very core. Write, walking in my new light, in the comments to seal this portal of blessing. The instructions for your new life have been successfully delivered. The presence of Archangel Michael has sealed your new paths, and now it is up to you to move forward with courage. Know that the light that surrounds you today is not a passing state. It is a permanent condition of your being. You no longer need to desperately seek external signs. You yourself have become a living sign of divine favor. Your entire being will begin to emanate a frequency of wholeness that will naturally attract restoration. It is a sacred magnetism that brings harmony to your life without the need for arguments or strenuous effort. The change within you will speak far louder than any words you could utter. You are no longer the wounded soul who walked through life. You are the one who has risen again with unwavering strength. You stood up when the voices of the world suggested otherwise, and you dared to believe that heaven had not forgotten you. Now, life shows you that your faith was well-founded. You will begin to receive unexpected support that comes not from hard work, but from pure grace. You will observe how situations fall into place on their own. Provision will flow in creative ways, and serenity will arrive through unexpected encounters. All of this is happening because your spiritual atmosphere is responding to the work that was completed before the sun even touched your window. Do not revert to old habits of doubt. Do not dim your lights simply because others do not understand the depth of your peace. Right? I claim my inheritance of favor and feel the security settle in your heart. The pain you experienced served a refining purpose, and now that preparation is bearing fruit. You are entering spaces for which your ancestors prayed with hope. You now hold the vibration of freedom for your entire family lineage. You are not small. You are not behind. You have arrived at precisely the right moment to fulfill your mission. From this dawn onward, your life leaves behind the silence of waiting to enter the glory of manifestation. The sun's rays that now touch the sky are merely a reflection of the transformation that has already taken place within your soul. What once held you back no longer has authority over your steps. You enter a reality where you are the living embodiment of all that heaven has bestowed upon you. You may sense an eerie silence around you, but it's not emptiness, it's alignment. This is what harmony sounds like when the inner struggle finally ends. You were never broken. You were simply unlocking a version of yourself that could only emerge after overcoming the pressure of the process. The spiritual cocoon has broken free, and your true self steps forward with renewed wings. Archangel Michael continues to watch over your progress, but now he stands behind you, protecting your back as you confidently forge your own path. This is about momentum, and remembering that although the outside world may seem the same, your soul knows that everything has changed. This dawn is not just another day. It is your renewed covenant with the divine, a symbol that the light always prevails. The heaviness of the past few days has evaporated, and the fear that once made decisions for you has vanished. You are free, not by human permission, but by divine restoration. Your wings are ready. They were only waiting for this moment of absolute clarity to take flight. The benefit of this final stage is spiritual authenticity. You no longer waste energy pretending or trying to fit into molds that are too small for you. Today, you gain the ability to be yourself under divine protection, which is the most powerful magnet there is for attracting the right people and situations. Your greatest wealth is having discovered that peace is not the absence of problems, but the presence of an inner security that nothing can disturb. Walk today with your head held high, for heaven has validated you before the entire universe. From this moment on, every movement you make will carry the echo of the celestial company that walks beside you. Every decision you make with confidence will open doors of opportunity, and every boundary you set will definitively close access to energies that no longer belong in your field of light. You are granted divine permission to feel joy without reservation and peace without a trace of guilt. Enter every space in your life with your heads held high, for your presence is now living proof of total restoration. Right? I accept my spiritual victory to seal this closure in your soul. In the coming days, you will pause for a moment and notice that something has profoundly changed. You will feel secure for no logical reason, and your heart will experience a lightness you haven't felt in years. You may not even remember the exact moment the sadness vanished. But that is how divine grace works. It doesn't ask permission to heal you. It simply does its work and reveals the result before your eyes. Archangel Michael reveals that others will begin to notice an unusual glow in your face. You will speak less, but your presence will communicate much more. Those who distance themselves during your times of trial will realize with astonishment what was brewing within you. Do not seek explanations or rewards. Allow your own spiritual elevation to be the only answer. For heaven is not explained. It is revealed through your actions. You will see favor manifest itself in unexpected places. You will receive gestures of generosity that will seem too perfect to be real, but they will be real. Old goals will return under better circumstances, and what was stagnant will move forward thanks to the impulse of grace. What was once a labyrinth of complications will now become a path of ease. You are the force sent to dissolve old patterns and the blessing that brings freshness to the barren places around you. Everything around you will begin to transform, not because you demand it, but because you have aligned yourself with your true self. This version of you is not an act or something fleeting. It is a sacred result of surrendering to the light and of having heard the call when others ignored it. You have said yes to your higher self even when the past tried to hold you back. Now, watch as reality begins to respond to your new frequency. This dawn has not only illuminated the physical world, but has also ignited your true calling. The next chapter of your story begins with you fully awake, chosen, and with a peace that no one can take away. Before we say goodbye, I invite you to seal this connection. Subscribe to our channel, share this light with your loved ones, and leave your final affirmation in the comments. Your journey of blessing has only just begun. And for those who wish to support our mission to continue creating this content, the Super Thanks option is available below the video. Thank you for your generosity and for being part of this journey.